As evening settled over the Newman household, the warmth of family lingered in the air. Cameron, now surrounded by love and stability, she once thought impossible, savored the simple happiness of home. Callum remained attentive to every detail that ensured her comfort, especially the kitchen. His cooking brought delight to everyone, and even Trenton jokingly complained about the favoritism when Callum refused to make his favorite dishes, though he relished every bite. Cameron's heart felt full. Her life had shifted so drastically from the cold isolation and abuse of her past. Each day strengthened her belief that marrying Callum was the greatest blessing she had ever received. Her health continued improving, and though she longed to become a mother soon, she held onto the promise that when the time was right, a child would come into their lives. Optimism warmed her spirit. Trenton, now reunited with his eldest sister, was content seeing her glowing with happiness. It had been a long road for their fractured family, but he admired how she had risen above pain and cruelty. Even so, the shadow of Carrie, their troubled second sister, lingered in his heart. No matter how far she fell, Carrie remained his sibling, and his empathy for her suffering was instinctive. After dinner, Trenton shared that he wanted to meet Carrie. She had claimed to be homeless, struggling and recovering from a mysterious surgery, worried for her well being and unable to ignore the guilt tugging at him. He hoped to help her find stability. His solution was practical: rent a home for Carrie and pay the year's fees directly so she wouldn't squander the money. He still believed she could regain control of her life if she chose to. Cameron listened quietly. While she knew of Carrie's selfishness and dark intentions better than anyone, she did not interfere with Trenton's decision. She wanted him to retain his kindness and remain free from the bitterness that poisoned Carrie's heart. And though she trusted him, she could not ignore her instincts. Carrie's sudden misfortune seemed too conveniently quiet, too unlike her unusual dramatic behavior. If she were truly desperate, she would have caused far greater chaos already. So, to protect Trenton and prevent any hidden schemes, Cameron discreetly sent someone to follow them from a distance. She needed to discover where Carrie truly lived and unravel whatever secrets she was hiding. Later that night, Trenton left the mansion, determined yet a little anxious. The driver assigned to him attempted to wait nearby, but Trenton insisted he would return alone. Once he entered Starbucks near Wilspun Plaza, the driver stepped back, but immediately informed Cameron of his arrival, just as instructed. Inside a coffee shop, Carrie waited in a quiet corner. Her appearance had visibly changed. Gone were the expensive bags and sparkling accessories she previously flaunted. She now dressed plainly, her expression weary and pale. To an untrained eye, she looked like a woman who had fallen hard from the pedestal she once claimed as hers. But beneath that disheveled exterior lay the same brewing resentment. Carrie had not reformed, not even close. Her misfortunes were not lessons learned, but weapons sharpened. She believed that everything Cameron now had, the family name, the wealth, Callum's love, rightfully belonged to her, and she would reclaim it, no matter the cruelty it required. She viewed Trenton as her last useful pawn. If she could manipulate his sympathy and twist his loyalty, she believed she could still destroy Cameron from within. Her goal was not survival, it was revenge. She intended to take everything Cameron cherished and plunged her sister back into darkness, both literally and emotionally. Trenton, filled with genuine concern, failed to see the venom behind Carrie's pitiful act. He asked after her health and offered assistance, hoping she would accept the opportunity to rebuild. However, Carrie hid her deceit behind weak smiles and complaints of hardship, weaving a story of suffering caused by abandonment. Each word carefully crafted to deepen his guilt and convince him that Cameron was the enemy. But Trenton was no longer naive. Living with Cameron had opened his eyes. He saw how Carrie's behavior remained entitled and manipulative. Her bitterness hadn't changed, even when she claimed to have hit rock bottom. A quiet unease settled inside him, making him question what was truth and what was another one of Carrie's schemes. As night fell over Wiltspoon, unseen eyes, Cameron's investigator, watched the siblings. The truth would soon surface, and when it did, Carrie's illusions of control would finally collapse.